Missed credit card payments surge as Biden-era inflation continues to decimate American bank accounts, aka Kamalanomics, because she was the tying vote. She broke the tying vote that created this crisis with the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, that actually increased inflation. Had nothing to do with actually fixing inflation. It was actually basically the Green New Deal, and they changed the title of it, and that's why we're hurting. Plus the government spending, the out of control government spending, is the reason why Americans are struggling. So if y'all want 4 more years of this, go ahead and vote for Camilla. Y'all already know how I feel about that. But we're gonna talk a little bit about this. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news as well. All right, so let's talk about this news now. This comes from the Daily Caller News Foundation, and they report. This is from Owen Klinsky, and he reports that Americans are having an increasingly hard time making their credit card and car payments as Biden-era price increases and a worsening labor market have decimated their pocketbooks, according to the Wall Street Journal. Now, this is the Wall Street Journal. Nearly 10% of credit card balances and 8% of auto loan balances become past due in the last year, the highest rate of credit card delinquencies the U.S. has seen in over a decade, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Executives at major lenders like Citigroup and Ally Financial have noted the trend, with Ally stock falling 18% last Tuesday after its chief financial officer Russ Hutchinson reported the quantity of charge-offs, balances that the company wrote off because borrowers were unlikely to pay, was higher than expected in July and August. The WSJ reported, quote, borrowers at Ally have been struggling with the cost of living and now are struggling with an employment picture that's worse, Hutchinson told the Wall Street Journal. The increase in unrepaid loans is expected to continue with Bread Financial, a credit card issuer that services more lower income borrowers than larger financial institutions, expecting the rate to remain elevated through the end of 2024, while fellow credit card issuers Synchrony Financial said it is experiencing higher delinquency rates than before the COVID-19 pandemic, according to the Wall Street Journal. I told y'all this was going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Again, like I alluded to earlier, we cannot afford another 4 years of this. If Kamala Harris happens to win, we are donezo. They're allowing criminals to come into this country and take over apartment complexes and hotels, and we're allowing we're handing out money like it's like like it grows on trees, and then talking, and look what's going on in Chicago. They're talking about raising property taxes on the already struggling people of Chicago just to fund the homeless, immigration, illegal immigration. This is just crazy, and all of this is Democrat policy. This is the reason why we're struggling. The mainstream media can hide this, the mainstream media can lie about this, but we all know once we open up our wallets and see that we may be making more money than what we were making under Trump, but that money does not go any further. We can't. We're actually being taxed into oblivion by the simple fact of inflation that's happening in our country. But prices have risen more than 20% since President Joe Biden took office in January 2021, peaking at 9% in June 2022. Inflation sat at just 1.4% at the end of former President Donald Trump's term. Alongside elevated prices, interest rates raised for credit cards have also increased, climbing to, 21.51% as of May, up from roughly 15% in 2019. That is crazy, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. The Federal Reserve has held its target federal funds rate at a 23-year high range of 5.25% to 5.50% for 8 straight federal open market committee meetings in order to combat inflation. Now, elevated rate hikes, interest payments, and consequently have helped drive the surge in overdue balances. Delinquencies reached their highest level in the first quarter of 2024 since the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia began tracking the metric in 2012, as total revolving balances rose to $628.6 billion. The high rates have also made car payments less affordable, with the rate on 60-month loan for a new vehicle hitting 8.2% in May, up from 5.3% in 2019, the WSJ reported. This is just crazy. It's unsustainable. People, and I venture to say that this is by design. They want to turn us into a third world country. Other countries believe that we're too prosperous, we're too rich, so they want to bring us down a notch. And by sending in invaders into this country to take up our money, to take up our taxes and stuff like that, this is why it's happening. In addition to inflation and high borrowing costs, the U.S., quote, employment picture has also worsened, with job growth coming in below economists' expectations in both July and August, and unemployment currently sitting at 4.2%, well above the 3.4% rate seen in April 2023, according to Fred. Unemployment is atrocious, and the new jobs that that Biden claims he created were just jobs that were coming back after the pandemic. He really didn't create those jobs, and then those jobs that did come back, they're going to immigrants, not Americans. Think about that. Faced with the combination of high interest rates, price increases, and joblessness, American consumers have hemorrhaged savings, with the personal savings rate, the percentage of disposable income that Americans have saved, falling from 25% during the COVID-19 pandemic to just, 2.9% in July. That's crazy. No longer double digits. That is crazy. Again, we have to get the Democrats out of office. So they're going to continue to ruin this country. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.